This is Sam, and welcome to Naija Films Recap. Today, we are diving into an explosive, action-packed, and surprisingly hilarious Nollywood blockbuster called The Waiter. Now, when you hear the title, The Waiter, you're probably thinking about a guy balancing trays. But let me tell you, the only thing this waiter is serving is hot plates of violence action with a side of Akpos. This movie is produced by Corporate World Entertainment, directed by Toka McBaror, and stars the one and only Ayo Makun, AY, as Akpos, alongside a stellar cast including Shaffy Bello, Buchi Franklin, and Deyemi Okanlawon. The story starts with what looks like a simple terrorist takeover of a five-star hotel, but it quickly unravels into a complex web of inside jobs, government corruption, Robin Hood style giveaways, and one man trying to save his sick mom. So, grab your snacks and settle in, because this one is a wild ride from start to finish. The movie throws us right into the action with a tense, gritty flashback. A team of Nigerian soldiers is sneaking into an abandoned factory. Their mission: to rescue kidnapped comrades. Their leader, Tony Bright, directs them into the compound. But as they breach the target room, they find only a single, scared-looking young woman. Before they can react, it's a trap. Bandits ambush them from all sides, and a massive firefight erupts. "We're under attack! Call for backup," Tony yells as they retreat. But as they fall back, one of their own soldiers turns, aims, and shoots Tony in the back. It's a setup. The entire team is betrayed and massacred. Years later, we meet our hero, Akpos. He's the complete opposite of that dark opening. Cheerful, singing, and greeting everyone in his neighborhood on his way to work. He hops into a cab, but his sharp instincts kick in immediately when he notices the driver taking an unusual route. Okay, driver?" he asks, casually. "Why are you taking this alternative route?" The driver mumbles about traffic, but Akpos isn't buying it. He realizes he's being kidnapped. But these kidnappers picked the wrong victim. Before they can even make a demand, Akpos attacks first. "You guys are mad," he roars, unleashing a flurry of slaps, punches, and headbutts on the men in the back seat. He turns his violence action on the driver, causing the car to swerve wildly and crash. As Akpos coolly dusts himself off and walks away from the wreckage, the car explodes behind him. He doesn't even flinch. This is our main man. He's not just a waiter. We find out Akpos works as a waiter at the ultra-luxurious Crystal Valley Hotel. Today is a massive day. The hotel is hosting a major government conference where the Minister of Welfare and Poverty Alleviation is set to announce a new 300 billion naira program. The hotel's chief security officer, Femi, is frantically trying to manage the situation, but he's quickly pushed aside. A team of arrogant NSS agents, led by the smug agent, Soji, arrives and immediately takes over the central control room, dismissing Femi and his hotel security team as amateurs. "We can't leave the security of high-level dignitaries to you," Soji scoffs, kicking Femi and his men out of their own office. Akpos, meanwhile, finally arrives at work, late because he was busy surviving a car bomb. He's in the locker room, changing when his younger sister, Efe, calls in a panic. Their mother is critically ill and has been rushed to the hospital. Ife is broke and needs his help. Akpos's tough guy exterior melts. He adores his mother. He promises to send money as soon as he gets paid that night, lovingly calling his mom a goddess who doesn't take drugs. Back on the floor, the hotel is buzzing. Femi, the demoted security chief, complains to the nonchalant hotel manager about the NSS agents, but the manager brushes him off. Akpos joins the other waiters, who are being briefed by their stern head, Segilola. He immediately starts flirting with the beautiful hotel boss, Miss Dira, whom he mistakes for Segilola's cousin. "Who is this one?" she asks, unimpressed. She promptly orders Segilola to deduct 30% from Akpos's pay for tardiness, frivolities, and flirting with me. Akpos is stunned. "That's your boss," Segilola informs him. The plot thickens. A waiter, who we later know as Hillary, pushes a food trolley into the NSS control room. Agent Soji, looking hungry, is told it's a complimentary gift for the hard-working government delegates. At the same time, another suspicious delivery man enters the hotel from the back. The chaos of the event begins. The rude hotel manager, rushing through the hall, violently shoves Segilola, knocking her to the ground. He doesn't even look back. A strange, intense journalist, Toka McBaror, helps her up. He then launches into a bizarre, overly dramatic monologue about the manager being vermin whose flesh will be severed from their bones in the burning hot oil of judgment. Akpos, watching this, is completely baffled. "Sir, sorry," he asks. "Did you remember to take your medication today?" Tonia just walks away. The minister and her entourage finally arrive, including her mousy special assistant, Nwando. A hidden terrorist sends a radio message. The package is on site. In the control room, Agent Soji and his team, with the doors now closed, eagerly eye the complimentary food. The conference begins. Comrade Sisa, the Labour Congress chairman, gives a powerful speech about his passion for Nigerian workers. The minister follows up, thanking everyone. Meanwhile, Akpos, desperate to get his 30% payback, finds his boss, Ms. Dira, and tries to apologize, but ends up just flirting more. "I don't know you were my boss. I just wanted to try my luck. I need my full pay. My mom is in the hospital." Ms. Dira, now even more embarrassed by his lack of professionalism, gets up to leave. "You are fired," she snaps. Akpos is momentarily shocked, but then, seeing her uneaten plate of expensive food, he shrugs. "Anyway, since I've been fired." He sits down to enjoy his retirement benefit. On stage, the minister makes the grand announcement. The government has approved 300 billion naira for poverty alleviation. The crowd erupts in applause. Back in the control room, Agent Soji and his NSS team are gleefully devouring the complimentary turkey. At the conference, the journalist Tony Bright raises his hand. "My name is Tony Bright, from the Daily Voice of the Oppressed Nigerian." He asks the minister if she can guarantee the 300 billion won't end up in their personal accounts. The minister gives a slippery political answer. Tony looks around, makes eye contact with his team, and gives the signal. It begins. In the control room, the food tray, laced with gas, hits the NSS team. They all slump over, unconscious. In the hall, gunshots sound. Terrorists dressed as hotel staff storm the building. Hillary, the waiter, activates a powerful signal jammer. In the control room, the hotel is sealed. No calls in, no calls out. And the leader, Tony Bright, the journalist. He's joined by the other terrorists, including the fake delivery man. They are organized, ruthless, and in complete control. While Akpos is still at his table, finishing Ms. Dira's food, the terrorists, led by Tony, take command. They start placing bombs. Femi, the CSO, is captured. Tony gives a calm, terrifying speech. To prove he's serious, his men shoot two guests dead. He then selects 20 high-profile hostages: the minister, Comrade Caesar, the patriotic permanent secretary Farida, and the American delegate, Mr. Virgil. A terrified Mr. Virgil tries to flex his American citizenship, warning that the U.S. Navy, the Marines, the SWAT, even the Boy Scouts are monitoring him. Tonie just laughs. He then spots Segilola and the rude manager among the hostages. In a bizarre act of petty justice, Tonie forces the terrified manager to get on his knees and give Segilola a foot rub as payback for his earlier rudeness. "I'm a fast learner, madam," the manager sobs. Tonie begins a live broadcast to the entire nation, explaining his motives: the fall of the naira, crippling inflation, corrupt politicians. The broadcast goes viral. Even Senator Dino Melaye is shown watching, singing one of his famous songs. The police are mobilized, but Tonie calls the ACP, warns him he has dead bodies, and forces the police to stand down completely. The chaos has spread. Akpos, separated from the main hall, sees a gunman threatening a hiding guest. His hero instincts kick in. He pounces, taking the gunman down with brutal efficiency. "Drop that gun!" he yells, as another guest smashes a vase on a second gunman's head. Akpos has just saved them. Elsewhere, Akpos finds Miss Dira being dragged by a terrorist. He jumps the man from behind, smashing a vase on his head and knocking him out. Miss Dira is saved, but terrified. "Who are those guys?" she asks. Akpos, back in his element, replies cockily, "Why didn't you ask them when they were dragging you?" Miss Dira, realizing Akpos is her only hope, offers him 400,000 naira for protection. Akpos scoffs. "As beautiful as you are, you can only afford 400,000. He demands 5 million. They negotiate and settle on 1 million. He immediately asks for a transfer, but the signal jammer stops it. He's stuck with her. Back with Tonie, the ultimate betrayal is revealed. Tonie announces his one demand: the 300 billion naira. The minister claims it's impossible. Tonie counters, revealing he knows everything: the 3 signatories, the security protocols, and even the secret 16-digit access code. How? He points to the minister's quiet PA, Nwando. "She's going to be our resident genius accountant." Nwando, his girlfriend and mole, has been working for the minister for 6 months, feeding him information. The patriotic Farida tries to rally the hostages, telling the minister not to negotiate. The minister, under pressure, fakes a faint, but Tonie's men aren't fooled, and she wakes up instantly when they cock their guns. Akpos and Miss Dara, hiding in another part of the hotel, are found by 2 gunmen. Akpos, protecting Dira, fights them both, knocking one out and finishing the other with a brutal neck snap, all while Dira begs him to stop. Akpos, adrenaline pumping, just blows her a kiss. Tonie's broadcast continues. He announces he has taken control of the 300 billion and is about to spread love. He's not stealing it for himself. He's becoming a national Robin Hood. He's going to distribute it to the Nigerian people. Outside, the police operation is a joke. The new superintendent, Winston, arrives. He's an incompetent, preening fool, more interested in flirting with Inspector Zika and boasting about being a Rivers boy than forming a coherent plan. He completely ignores Zika's sound tactical advice. In the hotel kitchen, Akpos, Dira, and Femi finally cross paths and form an uneasy alliance. Femi and Akpos immediately clash, arguing over who is in charge. Akpos, now a hero, has no intention of following Femi's orders. Tonie continues to expose the hostages' hypocrisy, particularly the Labour chairman, who he accuses of betraying the common man by siding with the oppressors. The sharp-tongued Farida insults Tonie again, and he orders her taken to the execution chamber. She finally breaks, crying and begging for her life. Outside, Winston is giving a ridiculous, boastful speech to his men. "You see, this guy," he says, pointing at his own head, "is going to win the Grammy for killing." While Zika tries to stop him from endangering the hostages, the kitchen trio is attacked again. Akpos and Femi fight side by side. Akpos brutally finishes one, and Femi, picking up the terrorist's gun, makes a shocking discovery. It's empty. No bullets. They've been held hostage this whole time by men with fake guns. They beat a guard until he reveals the jammer's location. The control room. Just as they head there, Tony is alerted and sends his personal, real gun-wielding guards to intercept. Femi reaches the control room, gets into a brutal fight with Hillary, and finally deactivates the jammer. The network is back. People in the hotel start getting the 1 million naira alerts. Tony realizes the jammer is off. Nwando finds Akpos's file and realizes he's the one causing the chaos. Tonae and Nwando discuss their real escape plan, their own $100 million share. The media guy, who wasn't fully silenced, overhears this, tries to blackmail them for $50 million, and Nwando stabs him, killing him for good. Outside, Winston gives the final, fatal order for his strike team to burst in, ignoring Zika. Femi sees them on the cameras, walking straight into an ambush by Tonie's real gun-wielding guards. He tries to warn them, but the comms are down. In desperation, he calls Akpos, who is now outside, having just received a call from his sister, Efe. Femi begs Akpos to warn the police in the garage. Akpos, seeing his sister, is now safe and rich. She got the 1 million alert. Hesitates. "You mean you want me to use my own 2 legs to return to Ukraine?" But his conscience wins. He agrees. Akpos races to the garage, but he's too late. The police team, led by Winston, walks in. Tonie's men, hidden, open fire with real bullets. The police are massacred. Winston, in a final act of cowardice, drops his gun and runs away, abandoning his team. Akpos and Femi watch in horror. Tonie, hearing the gunfire, is devastated. This was meant to be a bloodless operation. Tonie blames the ministers for the deaths. His lookout signals Phase 2. Femi, Dira, and Akpos, after Akpos saves Femi again, are now the only ones left who can stop them. Tonie calls Akpos. He knows his name, his family. He blackmails him, saying his men are at the hospital with his mother. Akpos races to the toilet to meet him. But it's the final twist. Tonie reveals his men didn't harm his mother. They helped her. They moved her to a better hospital, paid all her bills, and gave her a huge sum of money. Akpos is stunned. His enemy just saved his mother's life. The terrorists, now in civilian clothes, begin the clean-up. They mix in with the panicked hostages being evacuated. The police, finally entering, rescue the ministers, unaware the terrorists are walking out right beside them. Femi goes to the control room and wakes up the gassed NSS agents, mocking them. Inspector Zika manages to catch Nwando as she tries to slip away. Tonie, seeing his partner captured, makes a choice and escapes alone. In the chaos, Akpos finds Miss Dira. She thanks him profusely. He brushes it off, then looks at her. "You see that 1 million naira you were going to pay me? Help me give it to your father as deposit for your bride price." Dira, after everything, bursts into laughter. They hold hands, about to kiss, when Femi walks in. "Akpos!" Our lives are going to be the news deadline now. Akpos just smiles. He's got the girl. The movie doesn't quite end there. Months later, a special mission, perhaps led by Femi, tracks Tonye to a remote location. They corner him. He turns and the movie ends, setting up a sequel. And that, my people, is The Waiter. What a ride. It had everything. A Robin Hood terrorist, a comically incompetent police force, a surprise inside woman, and a waiter who was secretly John Wick. Akpos started the day trying to get his 30% payback and ended it with 1 million naira, a new boss girlfriend, and a rich family. What did you think of Tonye's motives? Was he a hero or just a thief who got greedy? And how much did you love Akpos's violence action? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. If this recap gave you your own alert of excitement, please smash that like button. And if you're new here, subscribe to Naija Films Recap and ring that notification bell. Until next time, I am Sam, and this is Naija Films Recap. Stay safe out there.